that's where I grew up. And my childhood was quite a bit difficult, but my parents divorced when I was 6, and my mom, she took care of 6 children by herself, and she did her best, and I will say she succeeded pretty good. My father was a very violent man, and so it was hard for me to find my own identity with all that. I tried to look for a father figure or someone to kind to hook on. And so when I was 15, we all moved to Montreal, and I started to hang out with the wrong gang. And so I became involved with drugs. And so mostly until the age of 20, I was taking drugs, and I was hanging out with the wrong gang, doing the wrong thing. And so it was pretty much my life then. But one day, a friend of mine, the guy I was hanging out with him, told me that I was so much involved in drugs that I will never be able to get out of that. The only way to get out of that will be either dead or in a detox center. And I bet with him that I can get out just like that. So we bet a case of beer.
Okay.
And so we agree on the 12 pack. And so I said to myself, the only way for me to get out of drugs is to go away from my friends and join the army. So that's what I did. I went to join the army. I did a 3 years contract. And when I finished my 3 years, I went back to Montreal and went to see him. And I asked for my beer. But the fact I was in the army and walked away from drugs, I became an alcoholic. Because the beer on the ship, a beer was 50 cents, and the liquor was only 20 cents an ounce. So it was easy for $5 to get drunk. So and I did that for 3 years in a row. And so I became an alcoholic, but I couldn't see that was a problem. I just enjoyed drinking, so but that did affect my life as I was going on, because I realized that I couldn't live without one. And so I did all kind of odd job, but I studied in cooking, so I was able to work in this fine hotel across the Maritime and in Quebec, like the Queen Elizabeth, and so a few places like that. But I was still drinking, doing that. And in 1997, I lost everything, and I ended up to go back to mom's home, and so I was like that for a year. And in 98, in January 98, a friend of mine was opening a French bakery in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. And he asked me if I could help him to open that and taking care of all the pastry while he's taking care of the bread. So I agreed. And in my head said, well, that's a new town. For me, I will go there, nobody know me. It's a perfect time for me to change my life. Stop drinking and stop doing all kind of stupidity and start brand new. And so I arrived there in January 2nd at night, and at 3 o'clock in the morning I was drunk and I was fighting with a guy in the street. And so right there, I broke my New Year's resolution. So it didn't last long. So I kind of hate myself about that, but there was nothing I could do. That was the way I was, and couldn't try to find my own identity in the midst of that. My landlord the landlord of the building where the bakery was, every Sunday he will walk into the bakery and said to me, Robin, you need to go to church. God want to talk to you. So you need to go to church. And so I was getting pretty tired of hearing him. So I said, Rick, I said, do I pay my rent every month? He said, yes. So are you here to buy bread? No, but get out of here. And so he was going on and going on like that Sunday after Sunday. And one Sunday in March, I had to deliver my bread in Halifax, and my truck broke down. So I asked Ray if he could give me a ride. So we packed the truck and we went to Halifax and delivered my bread. And on the way back, he stopped at the church. I said, what are you doing? He said, well, this is Sunday. And on Sunday, I go to church. I said, okay, you go and I stay in the car. I can wait 30 minutes, 40 minutes. He said, oh, Robin, he said, you're going to freeze. Here, the service is at 40 minutes. It's 3 hours. I said, why can't crazy people go to church for 3 hours? He said, well, me and there's a bunch of people. There's one of the biggest church in the Maritime, and it's not like the Catholic Church. Robin, you will enjoy that. I said, okay, I'm going to go, but don't bother me. Huh? I said, nothing to move. So I walked inside, and that's true. The place was packed. And they were playing music, and they had kids with stick and ribbons. They were dancing. And so the truck never saw that before. So I went to sit down, and everything was okay, but I made bread all night. So it didn't take long for me to fall asleep. So I was in my Robin Wonder world when a guy tapped on my shoulder. So I wake up and said, what do you want? He said, my friend, the pastor is inviting you to accept Jesus. I said, what? He said, my friend. I said, listen, Pop, you want a friend? Go buy yourself a dog. And then I got up and I was so mad. I just walked out of the place. According to Ray, they stopped the music, they stopped everything, just watching a fool walking out of the building. And I was in the car and I was feeling out the dash and this seat. I said, you do that again to me and I kill you. And so I was so mad all the way for 1.5 hour drive, just cursing and walking out, going home. And Ray was very quiet. So quiet that he didn't bother me for months. I had to run after him to pay my rent. And a couple of months later, end of June, beginning of July, he showed up one Sunday morning in the bakery and said, I don't care what you're going to do to me. God wants to talk to you and you need to go to church. I said, okay, let's make a deal here, Ray. You know how much I love women. The day the most beautiful woman will walk through that door, I will go to church. But that won't happen because the women here in Nova Scotia are all ugly. He said, well, of course, if you don't like the ears, the nose, or even the big toe, you will say she's ugly. So give me a break. I said, you're right. I said, well, I've been here for 6 months. I didn't see any black people. First black person comes to the door, I go to church. I'm not even finished pointing the door. And the most fragrant, beautiful black lady walked in. With a smile, hello! I said, who are you? My name is Pat. Pat? Where are you from, Pat? I'm from New Jersey. What are you doing here in Lunenburg? I came to sing at the church. Would you love to come? Corner my eyes, Ray. Yes, yes, yes. So I said to myself, I might be a jerk, but I'm a man of my word. So I said, I will go. Somebody will bother me. and Ray gonna get beat up. So that was perfect deal for me. So I went, the place was packed, was about twice the size of here, and I was sitting in the back, and when she came on the stage with a long white robe, and she started to sing Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I was once lost, but not now I'm fine. Was blind, but now I see. Goosebumps all over me. I was freezing, and everything became foggy. I'm not saying the cloud came down, but everything I just couldn't. I had a hard time to see. I started to freak out. I think it was a flashback from all the drugs I've been using in the past, and I got scared. And I walked out of the building and ready to walk home. Ray pulled over with his truck. I jumped in. He didn't say a word. I didn't say a word. He dropped me at the bakery. I walked in and he left. And all week I was thinking about that. And the following Sunday, I'm in the bakery. I saw Ray walking with his Bible. I said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to the church." I said, "Wait for me." So I locked the door, jumped in the van, and I said to myself, I would love to hear that song again, to see what happened, you know. And so Ray said, "We won't go at the same church as last week. There's a Baptist church here, so that's where we gotta go." So I said, "Okay." So I walk in, I sit in the back, first song they sing, Amazing Grace. Again, goosebumps all over. I was freezing, couldn't see nobody else except the pastor speaking in the front. And when he shared the salvation and I was there, he said, "If you want to accept Christ as your Lord and Savior, just raise your hand. You don't need to come right here from where you're at. Jesus see you from there." And my hand just went up, and I could. You would have 10 guys try to bring my arm down. Nobody would have done it. And I felt so much peace in me. It's like, you know, when they win the Grey Cup and they pour the Gatorade water on top of your head. That's what I felt. So much peace. I never felt peace like that. So anyway, I go back to the bakery. The next day when I went into the bakery, I saw the fear in the eyes of my staff, because I was a mean person. I work well. I know the quality of my products, so I was mean towards my staff. They will do a recipe, and if they will drop flour beside the mixer, I will grab the recipe and I will say, "Where in the recipe said 1 cup beside the mixer?" And then I went and told them, I would tell them, "I pay for your rent, I feed your kids, and I will be mean to them." And when I walked in the bakery and I saw the fear in their eyes, I realized what I was doing. And so I just walked into the bathroom and I was crying there. And I didn't want to get out until there's a knock at the door and said, "Robin, Pastor Steve is here. He's here. He want to talk to you." So I walked out. We went for coffee, and he said, "I just want to make sure that you understood what you did yesterday." So I told him, yes, that I was saved. Jesus Christ died for my sin, and I was free. And so he said, "Good. You're gonna go tell everybody about it?" I said, "Are you out of your mind?" As I'm safe, that's good enough. So he couldn't understand why I was saying that. And I told him, I said, "My older brother is a believer. But the way he was sharing the gospel said, 'You're going to hell. You're gonna burn. You're the devil kids.'" And I said, "I don't want to say that to people." So he said, "Oh." He said, "I see your brother told you about the wrath of God." He said, "Why don't you come this week? We have an evangelist that will come every night for this week. His name is Ted Saley. And Ted will talk to you about the love of Christ." So I agree. I went. Monday night, I was sitting in the back. I was listening to him. I remember he shared every book of the Bible within 2 minutes. And I remember that part, he just went, da, 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 da. I had the full Bible in 2 minutes. The next day I was sitting closer, Wednesday closer. By Friday I was in the first row, just drooling, watching him and listening to him. Then on Friday he was talking the need of missionary. People need to go. Are you ready to live for Christ? Are you ready to go for Christ? And I raised my hand. I said, I want to go. So the following day, Saturday, I went and I told my partner that I was walking away from the bakery. I was going to go share the gospel. And I left. But I don't know what to do. I felt God called me in North Carolina in the Appalachian Mountain. So I went over there, and again, I didn't know much about my Bible. I was reading it, but how do you share that? I just don't know. One thing I was doing, I bought some light bulbs, and I made some card that said, I am the light, and with the verse, and I was going from door to door, giving light bulbs and giving the card. And people say, oh, my light bulb just burned up in the kitchen. There you go. And that's what I was doing. And I went through, I bought a full pallet of light bulbs from Walmart. And so that's what I did. And then I discovered that there was a course, storytelling course, that was giving at one of the schools there. So I took the course, and I realized that that could be my ministry, storytelling. And so I wrote the first story, and he talked about that guy that one word, one serve, one word, but he's not qualified, and nobody wants him. But God wants him. So it's called My Cousin Vinny. My cousin Vinny, he wants to work, but nobody wants to hire him because Vinny had a problem. He stuttered. And in those days, stuttering was a big handicap, and nobody wanted to hire him. So Vinny wasn't discouraged, but he went to see the priest and said, Father, I would like to work for the church. Well, what can you do, Vinny? I can do anything you want, Father. Oh, Jenny, I got an idea. You're going to sell some Bible. I'm going to give you 6 Bible. You take your time, and when you sold them in a year or 2, even the priest didn't want him around. When you sold them in a year or 2, you come see me, and I give you more. So Vinny took the 6 Bible and went. The next day, Vinny was back to the church. Father, do you have more Bible? What happened with the one I said I gave you yesterday? Sold them. Father. Oh, that's good. I give you 12 more. Now you take your time, Vinny. In a year or 2, you come see me and give you more. The next day, Vinny was back to the church. He said, do you have more Bible? No. Don't tell me you sold them too. Yes, Father. He said, Vinny, there's something I don't understand. Me, as a priest, if I sell 1 a year, It's good. And you ate thing in 2 days? I don't understand. He said that easy, father. I go to the people, and I told them that I saw the Bible, and I asked them, do you want it? Do you want it by one, or you want me to read it for you? So you see that God can use anybody. Often God doesn't call the qualified, but He qualified the caller.
Yeah.
So I decided to do storytelling, and I was able to travel across the state and across Canada, and really enjoy it, and been blessed by people, and was able to bless some people too as a ministry. It was different from what people do usually, and I tried to do other things, and I wasn't able. So that's what I did. And so I want to share a few stories with you guys. And my next story, I forgot what my next story is.
What?
I did that story. Next story, it's a story about God knows everything. God sees us. And so the story is about when I was young, my sister and I, we used to spend the summer at my grandparents' farm. Well, it was my grandfather's farm, but it was my grandmother's home. She was the boss in the house. So every summer we were going there, spending the summer there, and what was great on my grandparents' farm, we were free to do whatever we want. We want to ride the horse, we ride the horse. We want to go hunting, we go hunting. We want to go fishing, we go fishing. We want to ride the cow, we ride the cow. We were free to do whatever we want. One day, my grandpa built me a slingshot. He said, son, you go practice. And when you're good enough, we go bird hunting together. I said, oh, thank you, Grandpa. So I grabbed my slingshot, grabbed 50 rocks, 5 cans of pops, and when at the end of the field there was a fence. And I placed my 5 cans of pops, one beside the other. And then I went about 15 feet away. Put a stone in my slingshot. Hang. Missed it. Another one. Missed it. Another one. Got closer. Missed it. Another one. Closer. Missed it. Closer. Missed it. I threw my 50 rocks. Didn't hit the camp. I was so close to the camp that I couldn't hit him with my hand. I said, Grandpa will never take me hunting with him. I better practice again. So this time I took the can and I put them better in 3, 2, and then I took 5 rocks. I backed up maybe 8 feet. I put a stone in my slingshot. I hung. As I was about to throw my rocks, I heard the bell. That was my grandmother calling us for lunch. And when she rang the bell, you better be there. So I left the cans there. I stopped running towards the house. When I arrived beside the red barn, I saw my grandma's favorite pet, her duck. I look at the duck. I look at my slingshot. I look at the duck again. I look at the rock. No, I can't even hit a can. And that thing is running here and there. Now, I look at my cinch-up again. I gotta give it a try. So I put my stone in my cinch-up, hang, right on the duck head, and he fell dead. I looked around, nobody saw me, so I grabbed the duck and went to hide it behind the red barn under the horse manure. And I walked home like nothing happened. You know what it looked like, a child when nothing happened. So I'm sitting at the table. My grandma said, "Oh, what's your morning, Robin?" "Good, good. Grandpa built me a slingshot, but I'm not good. So maybe I get good enough to kill a bird one day." So we eat, and my grandpa said, "Hey, I'm going at the auction. You want to come?" I didn't have time to answer. My sister said, "I want to go." My grandma, no. While your grandpa and your brother go to the auction, you and me, we're going to do the dishes and then the laundry, and I need you to put that on the clothesline. "Well," she said, "I believe that Robin would love to do the laundry." So I look at my sister. She looked at me with a smile, and she said, "Quack, quack." "Yes, Grandma, I would love to do the laundry. Never know, someday I will have my own apartment and find myself a good wife, and I will help her to do the laundry." So my sister went with my grandpa, and me, I stayed home, did the dishes, the laundry, and I put everything on the clothesline outside. Supper time. We're sitting around the table, and after supper, my grandpa enjoyed to go outside, smoke his pipe, and talk about stuff that he doesn't know nothing about. But I enjoy to be with him. It's our time. My sister said she want to go. My grandma, no. Your brother and I needed the laundry. Now it's your turn to bring the clothes in, fold it, and put it away. Well, I believe that Robin would love to do that. Then she looked at me again and quack, quack. "Yes, Grandma, I would love to do that." For 2 weeks, every time that my sister had to do something, she will say 2 magic words, which are quack, quack, quack. And I had to do it. I couldn't take it no more. So after 2 weeks, I went to see my grandma. I said, "Grandma, I need to tell you something. The other day, accidentally, I killed your duck." My grandma looked at me with love, just like only a grandma can look at her grandchild. She said, "I know." "You know?" "Yes. I saw you through the window in the kitchen. You killed it, and then you put it in the red barn. And I went to look, it was on the horse manure." "But Grandma, why you didn't say so?" She said, "Well, I just want to know how long you're going to be your sister's slave." She said, "You know, God is watching you from the window of heaven. And sometimes you wonder how long you're going to be Satan's slave. He knows everything. And he's waiting for us." My next story, it's about Tommy. No, that's not that one yet. I'm too fast. My next story, it's called The Testimony of Jacob. Hi, my name is Jacob, and I sell nail. Yeah. I saw big nails, small nails, nails for wood, nails for stone. I even sell little fancy gold nails. You can find all kind of nails right here at Jacob House of Nails. My nails are the best. I don't only sell them, but I make them also. But there's one kind of nail that I don't make or don't sell anymore. Those are the crucifixion nail. Oh no. You see, I used to be the suppliers of nails for the Roman army. My specialty was crucifixion nails. Those nails have to be perfectly smooth because they go right here between those two bones. And right there, there's a major ulcer and a major nerve. And if there's any jagged edge, it will tear the man off, causing the person to bleed to death too quickly. And the Roman soldier doesn't want that. Oh no. They want to witness a slow, agonizing death. This is more fun. Last spring, a Roman centurion buzzed to my door saying that he needed 9 of those nails right away because there was a last-minute crucifixion happening later that day. So I would call around, but I have none in stock. But I promise that I will make them and bring them myself to the site. You see, the Romans are my best customer. I don't really enjoy to go to crucifixion. They are far too gruesome for my taste. And the sight of blood, I just don't like that. But I had to go. When I got there, I had to fight my way through the crowd that had gathered. I never heard so much yelling and screaming and anger of my life. I didn't want to stay there. I just want to deliver my nails and go back home right away. I finally saw the centurion. So I brought him my nails. As I was getting to him and turned around to leave, I noticed the object of attention, of the crowd attention, right there. That was the prophet from Nazareth, Jesus, the son of Joseph, the carpenter. I never see someone so badly beaten in my life. Part of his beard was teared out of his face. His eyes were black and puffy. They even took a crown of thorn and beat him into his head. And his back. Whew. That was horrible. This guy has been wet. The Romans, when they weave their whip, they mix with small piece of broken bones and sharp stone, and they also put kind of jagged and small nail. I know I'm the one who made them also. And when they whip someone, the nail and the bone got stuck on the skin, and when they pulled out, they take the flesh away from it too. They said that if a man get whipped 40 times, he died. Well, that Jesus was pretty close. But my big surprise is that even though everything that was happening to him, he didn't say a word. People were yelling and screaming at him. Silence. The two other colonels, they were cursing at him. Not a word. With all the pressure that was surrounding me, I felt that I had to say something. I said, "Hey, Jesus, how do you like my meal? Do they feel good?" Not a word. Say, "Hey, I'm talking to you." Stop to kick him. Spit on him. Not a word. So I kicked on my way to kick him, but the Roman soldier pushed me away, and then they left up the cross. And I stood there watching him. And then he looked into the sky and said, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani," which means, "Father, Father, why have you forsaken me?" Then he said, "Father, forgive them, because they do not know what they're doing." My leg became weak. I fell on my knee. And I stayed there for, I don't know how many hours. I stopped counting. I looked at him. That's when I realized it wasn't my will that held him there on the cross. It was his love for me. It wasn't my nails that held him there on the cross. It was his love for you. It wasn't my nails. Body broken, blood shed on the cross of Calvary. Price is paid, and I'm free, just because he died for me. And there's nothing else to say, and there's nothing else to pay. Body broken, blood shed on the cross of Calvary. Price is paid, and I'm free, just because he died for me. Little Tommy. Tommy is a 10-year-old boy who lived with his grandma in the big city. One day he was playing in the backyard and stopped to pick up some piece of wood, and he decided that he's gonna build himself a nice sailboat. So he stopped to cut the piece and glue them together, and he made himself a nice sailboat. He put 2 masts and put some sail on that, and he painted white and wrote in the back, "Tommy." Oh, he was so proud of his nice sailboat. But he doesn't know that that thing can hold on water. So we decided to give it a try. He attached a little rope on it, and with a length about 20 feet, and decided to go downtown in the park where there was a lake. And when he got there, he put the boat on the water, and the wind just blew on the sail, and the sailboat was going. And Tommy was giving some rope all the way to the end. And bring it back, he brought it back and let go again. And he was having a great time. Then he heard a sound that he knew. He was the son of a fire truck, and Tony loved fire truck. So he turned around and he started building on the fire, and so excited. So he ran to the fire just to watch that. There was a policeman with some barricade, and the newspaper reporters and firefighter was walking in the building, coming out, and just Tommy was he was in heaven. And while he was looking at all that, then he realized, my sailboat, by the lake. So he went back to the lake and looked all around. Couldn't find the sailboat no more. Somebody took it. So he was sad, but he went home. A couple of days later, he was walking in town, and through a window of a pawn shop, he saw his sailboat. He was so excited. He walked inside and hold it. He said, that's fine. That's my sailboat. He said, sir, that's my sailboat. Can I have it back, please? The guy said, yeah, you can have it. It's for sale for $5. But you don't understand. That's mine. I made it. It said, come in the back. I'm coming. He said, like I told you, son, if you want it, it's $5. You don't understand. And he walked out and ran home because Tommy was sad. Tommy was able to see sailboat, touch his sailboat, hold it, but he couldn't have it because he didn't have $5. So Tommy went into his room, and you remember that his grandma said to him, he said, anytime you worry about something or want something, just get on your knee and pray to God, and He will answer your prayer. So Tommy got on his knee and lift up his eyes to pray, and said, oh, right there on the shelf above the door, there was a piggy bank. Tommy, all excited, jumped on the bed, jumped on the dresser, gave a slap on the piggy bank, fall on the floor, broke down, and he went on the floor, started to pick up the money, and he got $5. He was so excited because now he was getting his hopes. So he ran back to the store. He put the money on the counter. He said, sir, I have $5. Can I have my sailboat back, please? Can I have my sailboat? So the guy stopped counting the money. He said, yeah, that's $5. I guess the boat is yours, son. So Tommy grabbed the sailboat. He said, you're mine. You're mine twice. The first time because I made you. Now because I redeemed you. God made us from the beginning. From day 6. We know the story of the creation. Day 1, the light and the darkness. Day 2, the water above, the water below, the sky in the middle. Day 3, the water and the dry land with the plant. Day 4, the sun, the stars, and the moon. Day 5, the bird in the air and the fish in the sea. And day 6, the animal and mankind at His image. So He created us. He made us at His image. So He made us. Because of sin nature, we were separated from God. We were completely separated. There was no way to be perfect to God. The only way was through Christ, the sacrifice that He did on the cross. Not only the sacrifice that He did on the cross, but He was buried and rose from the dead. And He's still alive today. So He redeemed us. He made us from the beginning. He redeemed us on the cross. And we are free today to be called children of God. So let's pray. Thank you, Heavenly Father, precious Lord, for your great love for us, for what you have done to us and for us on the cross, that we can be free and be in communion with you forever and ever. Amen.